Okay, so we're learning about high frequency words, synonyms, and antonyms. So I'm going to go back over and I'm going to write in the credits later that I'm learning everything and teaching from grammarly.com. Okay, so going back over, synonyms means words that are similar. Antonyms means words that are opposite. Okay, so we've already used the example of the word big. And if we say for an antonym, the opposite of big is small. Okay, if I say big and I want to find a synonym for big, then the synonym for big would be large, because big and large represent the grandiose size of a thing. Okay. All right. So, okay, I'm going to kind of skip around here. So I'm going to come down where it says, what is the purpose of an antonyms? What's the purpose of antonyms? So if you can scroll down and if you can find that title that says, what's the purpose of antonyms? Question mark. Okay. Antonyms play an important role in writing by making our words more effective. Placing opposites together highlights their differences and makes the individual words stronger. Specifically, you can use the power of opposites in three ways. One, you can do a comparison. Two, you can do description. Three, you can do an antithesis. Antithesis. So I'm going to go back up to one and read about comparisons. Antonyms are great for comparing two separate things and drawing attention to what makes them different. If you're writing a research paper that compares two topics, using pairs of antonyms can better communicate what sets them apart. So here's an example. Let's say you're discussing life in urban areas versus life in rural areas. Instead of just listing facts about each, you can use antonym pairs to communicate the differences more clearly. So you can call a rural area quiet, and you can call urban life noisy, or say that there are few people in rural areas and there are many people in urban areas. So an example of that, rural areas are like your country. People that like to live on the farm, they like to live far, they don't like a lot of the noise, the hustle and bustle of traffic, all the air pollution. That's the rural area. Urban areas are like the city. A lot of houses next door to each other, different neighborhoods, different stores around the corner, down the street, highways and byways, um, different churches, different centers. Everything is kind of clustered together in a busy environment. Okay. Clustered. Clustered. Write that down. Clustered. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Cluster is
So CLU
CLU
S T
TER
ED, or TER, cluster.
cluster.
And then once you find it, then you can break it down to like adjectives.
Cluster, I don't know qué es
Cluster.
That means como it's like more together.
More together. Compounded together. So now you know the difference between quiet and noisy, rural area, urban. Okay.
Urban, it's the city, and rural, how do you say it?
It's like the country or suburbs.
Rural.
So if you live, Katie, in the Beltway, further out maybe is more of your suburbs. That's more of your rural area. If you live more Katy Freeway coming into the city, that's more your urban area. The further it out, the quieter it is. The The closer you come into downtown, the noisier it is. It all depends on how you like to live. Okay?
In the middle.
In the middle. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, because I can go downtown if I want to, or I can go to the country if I want to. And if it's in the middle, it's convenient for me.
Convenient. Very good. It's not too noisy and it's not too quiet, but it's just right. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so let's read on to description. Description sometimes best way to describe something is to explain what it isn't. Using antonyms with a negative can add new dimensions to your descriptions and improve your writing's word choice. For example, you might describe someone who is arrogant as not modest or not humble, because modest and humble are antonyms. Antonyms are what?
Same.
Mm-hmm.
The opposite.
Opposite. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um,
So humble and modest is
humble and modest. Because humble and modest are antonyms of arrogant, you're saying the same thing. Okay. However, using antonyms that draw attention to the fact that the person chooses not to be the modest or humble, which adds a little bit more characterization than simply calling them arrogant. And an arrogant person is a person that just think they know it all. They you can't tell them nothing. They prideful.
yeah.
They're snobbish.
That's my boyfriend.
Oh, okay. Pretty much. A person that's humble is a person that can be sweet and can hear you out, and they may be intelligent, but they're not going to boast about it, or they're not going to brag about it, or they're not going to put themselves in a position where they can't be sad or open to learn a new thing or open to understand something from a different perspective. Arrogant is saying you can't tell me nothing. Humble is saying, okay, all right. Or I'm not like that. I'm glad you don't see me as a arrogant person. I do try to be modest. Arrogant is, I know this, you can't tell me nothing. Been there, done that. I have experience. Modest, arrogant. Understand it? Opposites. Okay. You're very modest. I can be humble. We're both expressing the what?
The same.
Same thing, which is a synonym. Okay. He's arrogant. She's obnoxious. They're both what? People that can't be what?
Manage.
Managed or told anything
Or told anything.
or have a bad way about them. Okay. So that's what that's saying. Okay. I locked myself out the system. Okay. Keep in mind that positive descriptions are usually better than negative descriptions, so antonyms are not recommended for descriptions all the time. Still, they work well when you're playing with the reader's expectations. For example, bugs are usually small, so when you mention a giant bug, the contrast makes the phrase stronger. Okay, that's talking about a bug, but you're talking about how big the bug is. That's an adjective, but we'll talk about that a little later. Okay. In this way, antonyms can enhance your persuasive writing by strengthening your descriptive words and challenging in your reader's expectations. Antithesis. Antithesis. Do you see that word?
Antithesis.
Very good.
Antithesis.
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 Antithesis is a literary device that directly harnesses the power of opposites.
Harnesses.
Harnesses.
Harnesses. I don't know what is
You
that.
want to write that down? Very good. Very good. Write it down and define what they mean.
Harnesses.
The power of opposites by placing them next to or near each other. As mentioned above, antonyms draw attention to what make things different, making each word seem stronger. Antithesis takes this to the next level by putting antonyms together. Always look for opposites to use an antithesis when you revise your writing. Now, that's a whole nother level of learning, and we'll come back to that another time. Okay, so I want to go to some lists. Antithesis.
Antithesis.
So I'm going to use a list of antonyms. Okay. So I'm going to go back up here in my Google search. I'm going to take out examples and I'm going to put in antonym list. Look at this. Just a minute. Okay. Okay. So go where it says EnglishShan.com.
So open another tab.
So when you go, put in here and put in antonyms list, and then it should bring up A to Z.
English what?
Antonyms list A to Z.
No, antonym list A to Z, not English. List. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
List. Oh, what am I doing? List. List A to Z. Right there.
Okay. And then go right here and choose this website where it says EnglishAnd.com.
Right here or right here.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Now, let's look at the first word. Words apart. Okay? A part.
A part.
A part.
I don't see it. That didn't work.
Okay.
Oh, wait. But it doesn't work in
You have this thing here. This thing here.
No. So maybe go that way or this way. Exit page.
Let me see what this says. Should be able to do this. Is it locked?
No.
No. Okay. Page unresponsive. Wait. Okay. Is your tether working?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. Oh, Richard. Oh, I'm sorry, Richard. Try to call me. I literally just now sing and had my phone on charger. I thought I was. Bless your heart. I had to get back with you, Richard. He missed class.
PDF. It says PDF.
Okay, let me do this. I'm gonna send you a picture text, okay?
I'm exiting the page.
Yeah, just exit the page, pumpkin. Okay, let me know if you got my picture text. Through your phone.
Yeah.
Okay, I sent you. You should have 4 pictures from me.
Three.
Okay, one more should be coming. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first picture should be the one with the green in it. I'm gonna read that one. Okay?
This one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. So antonym words A to Z. All right. So we have words such as apart. The opposite of apart is together. Broad. The opposite of broad is narrow. Cloudy, clear. Down, sunset. Exterior, interior. Follow, lead. Grief, joy. You got the concept?
No.
No.
Grief. I don't know what's grief.
Okay. So grief is sad.
Oh.
I'm having such grief today. I'm just having a rough day. This day is just grief. Oh, I'm going through grief because I lost a loved one. Grief. Hmm. The opposite of grief is joy. I have so much joy. I got food in my house. I got food in my car. I'm full. I'm happy. I got a lot of joy. Grief, joy. You see that in the list?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Now, what I'm going to do is give you some homework on antonyms. Ready for some homework? No, she gave me that look. No, Miss Harper. Oh no, Miss Harper. Okay, it's gonna be okay. All right, let's look at this. Find 10 of your favorite antonyms and use them in 10 sentences. Set of 10 each opposite use of one another. Okay, let me give you an example by what I mean.
Homework.
Mhm. So remember, it should be a set of 20 sentences for your antonyms. So if I use the word apart, you and I will sit apart on the plane. The opposite of apart is together. You and we will sit together on the plane. Okay? I'll give you another example. I will wash the exterior of the car. That means the outside of the car. Exterior, exterior in X is outside. Interior is inside the car. I will wash the exterior of the car. You can wash or clean the interior of the car. Inside of the car, outside of the car. Interior, inside of the car. Exterior, outside of the car. Aspirin can be harmful to those who don't need it. Aspirin can be harmless to those who do need it. Harmful is dangerous. Harmless is not dangerous.
Harmless is not dangerous, and
Full.
harmful is dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm going to keep my money. I'm going to keep my money. The opposite of keep is give. I'm going to give some money. I'm going to give some money. That young lady is lazy. That young lady is lazy.
Mm-hmm.
That guy is a diligent worker.
Diligent.
Mhm. Diligent. 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 That guy is a diligent worker. That girl is lazy.
How do you say diligent?
D-I, D as in David, D-I-L-I
L-I
G-E-N-T.
G-E-N-T.
Diligent.
Diligent.
That
Is a worker person.
a hard worker. Diligent means they're a hard worker, or they're aggressive. They're constant. They're a hard worker. That person is lazy. Oh, she doesn't like to work. He doesn't like to do anything. He's just lazy.
Okay. So homework is you turn the page, and I don't know what.
Oh, let me turn the page back. I just wanted to show you an example. There you go.
Define.
10 of your favorite antonyms. Define 10 of your favorite antonyms.
10 and use. The opposite.
Of one another. So a set
And
of
use them
in 10 sentences.
Set of 10 each.
So altogether, you should have for me 20 sentences.
Another. Okay, that's a homework.
That's your homework. And so now we're going to move on to learning about charting. We're going to move on to math. So I'm going to say goodbye to this video.